They said it wouldn't last, and they said that you can't drive profitable and incremental revenue through the affiliate channel. But here we are, 20 years later, and the affiliate channel is alive and kicking and generating profitable revenue for thousands of retailers across the globe. Hi, I am Jamie Birch, your host of the Profitable Performance Marketing Podcast, where we talk to some of the industry's best and brightest about their careers, about leadership, and about how to drive profitable revenue through the affiliate channel. Hey, this is Jamie Birch. We have a great podcast for you today and a great guest, one of my great friends, someone I admire and look up to quite a bit. And before we get into his introduction, let me just talk to you about something we have available for you. So right now, this is being recorded in June of 2020. So if you're listening around this period of time, I know one thing you're probably needing is direction of where to go and what to do during these turbulent and challenging times. So JEBCommerce, we created a 20 item survive and thrive in the current climate guide for you to download. You can go to JEBCommerce.com/strategies and download that guide. And we walk through all the different ways you, as especially an advertiser, can figure out exactly what you need to do to not only get through this very challenging economic time, but also thrive in this as well. So let's get to, and you can go do that at JEBCommerce.com/strategies. So let's talk about our guest today. Choots Humphries is the co-president of LinkConnector. He is uniquely suited to thrive in this digital world. He brings a superior record of leadership, entrepreneurship, and internet marketing experience, both to LinkConnector and to our industry. Prior to launching and founding LinkConnector, Choots co-founded and sold the .com core. So you can find Choots speaking at all the industry conferences, such as Affiliate Summit and AM Days, and he is a council chair at the Performance Marketing Association. I highly recommend you reach out and join the PMA. But Choots is passionate about disrupting industry norms, pushing the performance marketing space forward, and the Tar Heel basketball team. He's a great family man and a great human being. So in this conversation, we talk about leadership. We talk about hiring and the key things to get your company through challenging times. And then we move on to affiliate marketing and profitability and incrementality and the different things that LinkConnector has available for you as an advertiser and affiliate to be successful. So this is a great conversation. We do get into affiliate marketing about halfway through, about 30 minutes. So I hope that you find this valuable. If you do, please share this podcast with your friends. Share it in all the socials. And if you have any questions or you'd like to be a guest, simply go to calendly.com/Jamie Birch and set up 15 minutes, 30 minutes to chat with me. We'll talk about whatever you need assistance with. And if you'd like to be a podcast, we'll talk about how that all works. So let's just dive right into the conversation where Choots and I start out. So here you go. All right, Choots, thank you so much for joining me on this podcast today. I look forward to every conversation with you. I truly do. And this is no different. So welcome to my podcast.
Thank you, Jamie. I really appreciate you having me.
Yeah,
and I look forward as well. So
yeah,
we have some great conversations.
Always, and I was pre-recording an intro and I was trying to remember when we met and how long we've known each other, because our relationship is, in my mind, is ubiquitous through my entire career. But I know we haven't known each other for 20 years.
No, we haven't. And I think we've worked with people at JEB before, but I think you and I met pretty late. But as they say, I think we instantly figured out that our values and goals are well aligned, and so I think we became best friends, industry
Definitely.
friends. Yeah.
I agree, the same thing, and I hope when we reschedule our barn party that you and the crew from LinkConnector come out. And this extends to anyone listening. We will be having a barn party sometime in 2021. But yeah, hopefully you guys can make it. Get your cowboy boots on and come kick up some dust.
I don't think they make cowboy boots big enough for me, but we'll work on
Oh, I've seen it. My brother-in-law is
it.
6'4", and he has cowboy boots. So
That's fantastic.
yeah. Well, Choots, one of the things that I found most interesting, and it kind of brought to mind that we haven't known each other for 2 decades. When in prepping for this, I always go and look at LinkedIn. I want to, what don't I know? So I
Uh,
didn't know you were a vet of the U.S. Navy. So first, thank you for your service. Um,
yeah.
and how'd you go from Navy to, it looks like software developer to
Right.
co-president of one of the leading affiliate networks?
Well, doesn't everybody use the military to learn about affiliate marketing? I mean, I thought that was the path, so that was just
Yeah,
a natural path for me.
I think it's the only place that's been teaching about it.
Yeah. So I was a military brat growing up. I did not have an affinity or love of the military. Did not envision myself ever becoming an officer in the Navy. But when it came time to go to school, we lived down in South Carolina, and the only way my family could afford to send me to my alma mater, North Carolina, or what became my alma mater in North Carolina, was through some kind of scholarship. So I signed up. I got a scholarship to Carolina through the Navy and owed them 4 years of service as part of that as a commissioned officer. Um, I ended up staying 7 years because my 4 years were up right at the end of Desert Storm. I served
Oh, wow.
in Desert Storm, and 9 months in the Red Sea during Desert Shield and Desert Storm, and so came back very ill prepared to transition to civilian life. Wanted to get married and those kinds of things right away. So I ended up staying 7, which was a great thing. I did shore duty up in D.C. for 3 years at Bureau of Naval Personnel that used to be there, and through that assignment, worked with some of the smartest men and women that I've, had met to date, and started really falling in love with computers and all they could do, software design, and those things. And so just developed a passion in the early 90s for all that you could do on computers, and so pursued a job after I got out of the Navy with a software design and development company. I was doing night school for an MBA with a concentration in information systems at the time, and wanted to work for a software design and development company. And so got a job in DC, a company that was out of Boston, doing software design and development, cutting my teeth on those kinds of things, and and really loved the job, learned a lot. So I think most people that know me in person don't think of me as having the personality of a programmer. Not that that's a good or a bad thing. I love the logic that comes with those kinds of things. And so around 98, I was gaining a lot of frustration with what I was doing. I was doing a lot of desktop software development. And while I liked it, I felt like this new thing called the internet is exploding and I'm being left behind. And none of the projects that I were assigned to allowed me to do any kind of web based development. And I just felt like that was it. And so I used the president of the company decided to sell in late 98, and I used that as an excuse to take the leap. I had recently graduated from MBA school and felt like I could do it. So I talked to my wife and said, "What do you think about me starting my own thing?" And she said, "Yeah, go for it." So I took the leap, and um, Ernie and I had worked together in the previous company. And so we both leapt together and started our first online marketing company that really was a group of websites that we had acquired, and we wanted to monetize the traffic. They were related to taxes. I didn't know a lot about taxes, but I figured that was as good as any to figure out how to make money online. We didn't do much as it relates to affiliate marketing until the early 2000s. But once we started trying to grow our base, and I learned, a lot about SEO and SEM, and affiliate marketing was a natural transition to that. And I think it was late 2002, we had about a year and a half of affiliate marketing under our belt to try to grow our revenues through CJ and Share Sale. I got to know Brian really well, admired him and all he was doing, building up Share Sale. But we had a specific problem that we couldn't solve. It was related to tracking. And I approached Brian and said, hey, can you think you solve this problem for us? And he's like, Choots, it's a good idea, but I'm small. I don't have the resources to do this kind of project. It would derail what he was trying to do at Share Sale. And so Ernie and I decided to build an in-house tracking solution that would solve our affiliate marketing tracking problem that we were experiencing. And it was intended to be an in-house solution that kind of a internal network solution. We did not intend it to grow into what it's become in LinkConnector at the time. But about a year later, as we were building it and we're using it successfully, we got approached to sell our first business. And so I faced a choice at the time. I was young. I was, I don't know, when was that? 2005. So I was just in my late 30s, early 40s kind of thing. And I had to make the decision, am I done forever or do I want to keep going? And I was, thank my lucky stars every day that I kept going, because at the time I felt like I'd conquered the world. And looking back, I didn't know crap about running a business compared to what I've learned over the 15 or 16 years with LinkConnector. So Ernie and I decided to keep going. So we spun the software off of that previous company prior to the sale, and reinvested a majority of our money into building LinkConnector. So yeah, it's been great. So that's kind of how I got here, and I absolutely adore my job in the industry and the people I get to meet.
And I can definitely see that. It's one of the things that has attracted me to, and our company to LinkConnector. We primarily deal with you, Ernie, and Tara, and you guys are amazing. And it really does seem like you just love what you do.
Right. And I love, one of my favorite things about the industry is, almost every conversation I have within the industry makes me smarter and better at my job, because I'm surrounded by just wicked smart people that have this drive and passion for pushing the barriers and going farther and faster than anybody ever has. And I love it. I love the conversations. I almost inevitably learn something from almost every industry conversation I have, and enjoy it.
One of the things you said is people wouldn't say you have a programmer's personality. And I think they get a bad rap. The 3 or 4 that I know really well have really big personalities.
I know. Everybody
Completely
thinks
different.
of programmers as just kind of sitting back and being quiet and stuff. The programmers we all have in LinkConnector have amazing personalities and
Yeah.
are just amazing people. And so, yeah, I agree. But when
That's
people
great.
learn that I started my career or post Navy career in programming, they're like, "Huh?"
Yeah. Totally. And even back looking in around that same period of time, a little before, my father, he had a programmer working for him. And I don't think I've ever met a personality as big as his.
Oh,
I
that's
forget his
fantastic.
name. But, rock climber, took us
Right.
water skiing in the ocean off the Jersey Shore. So, it's a maybe a stereotype. Maybe that's what we can do here is break that stereotype.
Yes, exactly.
You
Exactly.
mentioned, when you decided to keep pushing on after the sale of your first company there, that you're glad you didn't, because you needed to learn a lot. Right now, for our listeners, it's June of 2020. the year that we will demarcate, what happened
The before and
before and
after.
what happened after, right? Uh,
Yeah,
so yeah, I lead two companies, and I'm always looking, for how do you do this effectively. So you've led companies through, yeah, I mean, since '99, you led them through the .com bubble, you led them through
yeah.
9/11, you led them through two recessions, and now I read today true unemployment is. Almost it's never been this high since the Great Depression. So,
I know, it's
with
amazing,
yeah,
scary,
with
amazing.
it's scary, and all this social change that's going on.
Yeah.
This, maybe there's a new cultural revolution that's happening,
Mhm.
and the economy being with COVID. How do what have you learned that you use at LinkConnector? What are the leadership principles? But what are the lessons that you learned that you found to be tried and true, or how do you approach leading your team during times like this?
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm really glad I didn't quit after my first company and I will tell you that that the amount I've learned, there's not enough storage in the cloud to store all that I've learned. But I think it really, I think I've made lots of mistakes along the way, and so it certainly, yeah, you have to be able to recognize those mistakes and learn from them, and constantly strive for improvement and those kinds of things. But I mentioned earlier that one of the things I love about this industry is how smart its participants, the people in this industry, are, and how driven they are, and how they're constantly pivoting because our industry just shifts as fast as sand at the ocean kind of thing. So, or on a beach, and so I think setting yourself up for success, that's been one of my biggest things that I learned over the years is picking the right people. So, at LinkConnector, we don't hire to skill a specific affiliate marketing related skill set. We hire smart people who are open to self improvement, learning. They have that innovative spirit, high integrity and stuff like that, and and then we train them, and then we work really hard to retain them, because that's a longer process than hiring a specific skill set to do a job. And so we work hard to identify the right people. I will tell you, and I am not making this up, that I am by far the dumbest person at Link Connector. All the people that I work with are smarter than me, and that's by design. I seek out that, and the reason is, my job isn't to tell them what to do. My job is to empower them, and I say it's really the whole senior management team that you mentioned, and then everybody below them as well, the managers below them. Our job is to empower them to do their job, to give them the tools and the resources and the support necessary to execute our mission and vision for the company and where we're trying to go and what we're trying to build. So that's the biggest lesson I think I learned over the years. And you talk about the the turbulence of our current times in 2020. Who knew 2020 was going to be this? We one of the hardest days, or time periods of my career, looking back, was when that recession hit in 2008. We were growing rapidly and going way too fast to do the kinds of things that you need to create a stable foundation on which to build. And we had to lay off a lot of our very talented employees that had worked hard to train during that first recession, during that 2008 through 2010 timeframe. And one of the things that I said I don't ever want to experience again is that. And so, a lot of people, I think these days, you talk about the high unemployment or something. I mean, they're rightfully fearful for their jobs. And so, what we've done, I think, at LinkConnector is focus on the foundation and making it as strong as possible so that we could take what we internally call these gut punches, and provide a stable environment that people feel comfortable doing that. So, we were very proactive as, you know, things started happening, and stayed ahead of that with our employees, letting very open communication about what's going on, why we were or were not worried about what we're facing, and so I think that's probably one of the biggest lessons I learned is hire smart people and and treat them like a team. Treat them a real team, a real team. No one person in our company is more important than another. We all have to work together to accomplish what we're trying to do.
That's awesome. And I've made so many mistakes in running this business.
Right,
I don't have a Harvard MBA, but I could have paid for 4 or 5 of them
right,
with those mistakes. Dave Ramsey says, mistakes with zeros at the ends. I have
right.
mistakes with zeros and commas.
Yes,
But that hiring, that really spoke to me, because I think that's in our 15-year history. In the beginning, that's where I really made a lot of mistakes,
me too.
and it took a long time to figure out, and I see the best in people. I also, for some weird reason, think I can help everyone be better and fix whatever issues they have. And I'm not that, that's not me. And most people aren't able to do that. Right. And so we had to, that seems to be, a common thing for both of us. And one thing that I learned is it's the people you have in here, that,
Right.
so it seems like I know in March when we entered all this, and I remember, March 12th was, the month was looking amazing. And then by
Hmm.
March 15th, we were full in the COVID crisis. Um, and there was a lot of, leadership gurus and management gurus having courses, and here's what to do now. But it sounds like what you've been able to do, and how, those two leadership principles are all before you get to crisis.
Right.
So, have the right people, and then prepare to absorb the gut punch. One of the
Hmm.
things, and I don't know what you think about this, is there's a lot of businesses that have folded because they simply didn't have enough cash in the bank to last for 6 weeks without
Hmm.
income.
Right.
And I know it's hard. I run 2 businesses, so I know how hard it is to stock away retained earnings. Um, but that really spoke to me of like, when you get in crisis, if now you're planning for it and now you're trying to figure out what to do, like you kind of already missed the boat, right?
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, and I certainly almost missed we almost missed the boat the first time around when revenues didn't grow like they were supposed to, and we were way more. Not that there's anything wrong with a lead campaign, but we were way too concentrated in lead campaigns back then,
Mm.
and I didn't envision that performance marketing, that marketing budgets could shrivel up, but they do. They
Yeah.
continue to be one of the first things that goes,
Yeah.
that the C level looks to save expenses, not realizing that they're de-investing in both short term and long term revenue by doing so. So, but I thought we'd be immune from that in the first recession. So once I learned that lesson, I'm like, no, we're not going to. And we went so long with growth and a good, nice, steady growing market, but you knew a recession was looming.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, you just can't go forever without recession. So I think we focused over the last 10 years on building that solid foundation. The other, and I know that's very cliche, and I don't mean it that way, but we talk a lot internally about if we're going to grow, you don't want to spend all your time and energy, adding to, you want to retain what you have as well. And that's where the solid foundation comes into on which to build is so critical, and that's where the institutional knowledge. I mean, again, I mentioned earlier about retaining our quality employees. We spend a lot of time and effort trying to keep our talented employees with us. One, because it takes a while to integrate somebody as a equal contributor to the team, but also just a lot there to build on now. And I I had a conversation yesterday where we talked about something we brought up again, something that we talked about 8 or 9 years ago. I mean, shoot, I didn't remember that conversation, but one of my employees did.
Wow.
And yeah, so
And when it comes to retention, is it a program that you have, or is it really, define vision and values and making sure that the company's living that out? What's that look like at Link Connector?
yeah, I think it's the latter. Again, you have people that have that same passion and dedication that support your mission and your vision for the company where you're going. That's clearly communicated to your employees, and then of course I think the values, you mentioned the values, and I think you and I in our first conversation talked about values, which I love and think about often. But that's important that you're you're sitting next to and working next to or with somebody that shares your value system, that has. And I'm not talking about your political values or your religious values. I'm talking about work ethic and how you treat people, and how you show respect and empower, and the desire to empower. So I think that's critical. And I think those things go way farther than a nice benefit package or salary, or the. And I'm not saying those things aren't important, but I think ultimately somebody has to be excited and continue to enjoy getting up every day and going to work, and be
Yeah,
excited about it.
your compensation package gets them in the door, and then
Right.
your culture keeps them. It took
Keeps
me a
them.
long
Yeah.
time to
Yeah.
realize that, and to make the values not this static thing on a poster that people make fun of,
Right.
but actually live those out. One of the things I noticed when we really made that shift to hiring the right people, and it was a Patrick Lencioni book. I think the ideal team player is it called, identified people smarts, hunger, and I always do this. I forget the third one, but there are three characteristics. When we switched to really looking for people like that instead of affiliate marketing skills specifically, that in of itself created a different culture. And now we changed how we interview. So the peers interview them first. Do
Right.
I want to work with them? And if they make it past that round, then it goes to our leadership team. And if by they interview, if they agree this would be a good teammate, and we think they're smart, hungry, and humble. That's it. Smart, hungry, and humble.
Oh, I like it.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So people smart, they're able to walk into a room and know, if they, need to be assertive, or not, and things like that. And then humble, they have an accurate view of their skill set,
Yeah.
uh, what they're good at, what they're not, and then hungry, like they want to grow. They want to. I don't think in either of our organizations we have rooms for clock punchers who,
Right.
I just want to sit at a chair, do a thing, and get paid. When we made that shift, my staff spit out the employees, even if they made it through the process. If they didn't fit that value, I didn't have to do a whole lot. It made me live up to those values and those things.
Right.
But I saw the team; they were so protective of what we created here
Oh,
that it
love it.
it really made it easy for us. And but like you said, like the first thing you said, it starts with those people. Um,
Well, we do the reverse. We interview management level first, and then bring in the peers for the top candidates. But I really like your approach. I'm going to talk to my team about considering switching that because I really like that a lot. You have to balance taking up too much of your team's time, but
Totally.
again, it takes up a lot of time to train somebody and realize 3 months later that they're not going to work out. I mean,
Yeah.
that in itself is extremely time consuming, and you have to be able to recognize that and decide on it quickly. So I'll definitely talk to our team about, yeah, the JEB approach. I like it.
Well, there's two reasons. I'll be quick on this. One was I think everyone deserves a chance, and so
Hmm.
they had to move me to the end. So I only see the people they want to work with. And
Right.
the other thing that it allowed is it's really frustrating for most of our staff is uh, uh, early 30s and mid 20s, somewhere around there, and so they're just learning about leading. They're just
Right.
taking their first management type of job. And so it can be incredibly disheartening, frustrating, and disappointing, and really can affect, how they look at leadership and management. When we bring in two or three people that don't work out, it's really hard for them not to see that, it's not them, it's who we brought in. And
Hmm.
so yeah, it does take a lot of time, but what we have found is that time in the beginnings, like you said, it saves so much time in rehiring, retraining, disciplinary, actions, performance improvement plans, and all that stuff.
Hmm.
Um, but mostly we had to put me at the end, or I'd hire everybody. Uh, that took about 19 out of 20 years I've had a career. Uh, but you said something earlier as we transition to affiliate marketing.
Hmm.
You said, in 2008, you didn't think, affiliate marketing budgets would decrease.
Mm.
But that tends to happen. Why do you think? Why do you think that happens? It seems, in conversations you and I've had, and conversations we probably both have had with multiple people, that just doesn't make sense, especially with this channel. What do you think is going on?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things there. I definitely think, especially in larger companies, a C-suite might not understand the true incrementality or the incremental nature of performance marketing, and the fact that and I'm not saying all affiliate programs add nothing but incremental sales and revenue. Nothing does, but it does. A properly designed and well executed affiliate program will hit a lot of those cylinders on incrementality. And so I think it's just the old knee jerk that I'm going to stop buying television commercials for a while because I don't have the I need to save some money. I need to quickly save some money. And so they think of marketing in those terms as it's more about brand awareness and an investment in the future, which doesn't pay off right away. And of course that doesn't translate to directly to affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing, a lot of times we see advertisers, shut down their program or suspend their program, and revenue dries up immediately. And they get it and they come back. But there's a lot of, I think, especially CMOs who the thing they know least about out of all the things they manage is affiliate marketing. They know usually come from the search world, but search is another great example. Um, of something that as soon as you stop spending in Google on your SEM campaigns or through your agency, however you accomplish search, you see revenue dry up. And so I think we all need to continue to strive to do a better job to educate CMOs. I remember, I know Gino,
Mhm.
and his AM Days conference from years ago. And, one of the things that Gino and I talked about over and over and over again is how do we get, it was a great conference. But how do we get more CMOs to those conferences, not just the affiliate managers, because
Yeah.
affiliate managers generally aren't empowered to push back on a CMO that says, I need to cut your budget, who heard it from his boss, the CEO or something. So yeah, I think we need to do a better job explaining all the way to the C-suite level the incremental nature of affiliate marketing and why it doesn't make sense to cut that budget unless it's by design. I mean, we had merchants during this COVID crisis who needed to shut down orders.
Yeah.
Their supply chain had dried up. They're already taking 30 to 60 days to fill orders, and they're like, I have to shut down my affiliate marketing program. I have to choke demand.
Yeah.
And they get it, and they get that they would do that. So unless that's your design is to cut revenues, it really doesn't make sense to do that. But
Yeah, we've seen, CMOs take like three tactics during the crisis. Paralyzing, they didn't. I'm not doing anything. I don't know what to do.
deer in headlights.
Yeah, don't move.
That
If
car
I'm
won't hit me if I don't move.
Yeah, it's like the Jurassic Park. COVID
Yes,
can only see movement.
right, exactly.
Or they overreact and cut everything, and we've seen some. I mean, cut everything,
Yeah, that's really
every
unfortunate.
expenditure. Yeah,
Yeah,
and that particular organization isn't even around anymore. They didn't make it through
yeah.
the first 60 days, and then the which I think is the right way, if there's a right way,
Hmm.
is evaluating everything, setting what are the new goals? Because I looked at our Q2 and Q3 goals that I created in December and was like, oh, that's so cute.
Oh, I did the same thing last month. I had my Q2 board meeting. I had to redo my goals, and I'm looking back, and I'm like, what was I thinking? But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, but what you're talking about is reevaluating based on a new set of circumstances,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
A new reality. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's good that
And
we both did it, and it's good that there are CMOs out there doing that.
yeah, definitely. And it seems I have not, well, one of the questions that I had to pose was there's a disconnect between what we're talking about, CMOs, the C-suite,
Hmm.
and what the affiliate channel does. And it seems that we're having you and I could have recorded this podcast in 2005,
Hmm.
and it would be just as relevant, right?
Probably, yeah.
Why do you think in general, like why do they have that disconnect? Is it because they came up, through most likely search, or display and advertising, that they don't understand it? Or do you think, I always go back to, every channel has bad actors. And we've had bad actors in the channel. And I think early on did a poor job. I know I did as an affiliate manager in house of really weeding that out. But why do you think the CMOs and the CEOs have such a disconnect on it, other than, they didn't grow up in it?
Well, I know you and I have laughed about this before, but how long does it take you to explain to somebody what your job is? It's not easy to do, right?
Yeah.
And so I think, unlike SEM, especially in the current dominance of Google, I mean, it was a little different in the old go-to days and Alta Vista days where everybody kind of did things a little different, and it was harder to understand. But these days it's Google and Bing. They both, Bing waits to see what Google's going to do and then starts to replicate it months later. So it's easy to understand. I don't want to call it one dimensional, but it's easy to explain to somebody, easy to understand, and I think it's comfortable. And I would classify SEO, I would classify display advertising as those kinds of things. Affiliate marketing is so complex. There's so many different ways that we've had discussions. I used to think it was Todd Crawford that did this quote, but I found out it wasn't. That it was Matt Frary who said this, and I used it up on stage once and was corrected as to who the originator of the quote was. But it was, affiliate marketing needs to be thought of more as um, a how you pay for your advertising.
Mm.
So it's not really how you do your advertising, because affiliate marketing is made up with affiliates that can do almost any kind of promotional type that's carried elsewhere. So, essentially a CMO needs to think about, I mean, you and I know, as an example, as a large company, you can do your SEM in-house. You can hire an agency to do it and pay them, 20, 25% of the spend that they're charging to your credit card, or you can outsource it to the affiliate marketing channel. There are lots of agencies and very talented affiliates that make a great living, and essentially you're shifting financial risk
Mhm.
onto those agencies. You're not paying for the money up front. You're not paying a percentage of spend. You're pricing out basically, based on your margins, what you want to make on a sale, and they execute based on that. So it's not about a specific promotional method, which is why I think it gets so hard to understand, because there's so many different things going on, or potentially going on, so many different promotional methods. And I think as our industry has grown, we do a better job of explaining that. But it's still not this one dimensional way of getting traffic. It's really more about, you know, how much are you going to do this in house? How much are you going to do this through a paid agency? And how much are you going to do it through affiliate marketing? And what are you going to allow to be done through affiliate marketing? And those kinds of things. So I think, JEB and LinkConnector are both PMA members, and
Mhm.
the council that I chair at the PMA is the Industry Advancement Council, and we struggle constantly on how can we educate the outside world to try to support the PMA's mission. Um, how can we educate the outside world better on what affiliate marketing is and what it isn't, and escaping the old bad actors, the redheaded stepchild syndrome. So
Yeah, and good time to promote the PMA. I'm on the board, and one of the things that I'm helping with is recruitment. And I always look and say, that's what we need. We need more advertisers, and we need
right,
more
yeah,
people in this.
100%, one hundred
Yeah,
percent.
they're making the decisions, and I think it kind of sounds like, and for what I've experienced, in their minds, affiliate marketing equals coupon sites.
I
And
know. It so
how
doesn't, but
Yeah,
I know
I
that's the
remember.
perception.
I remember when I was on. I worked at Coldwater Creek, and when the affiliate program was really advancing, it was a public company, so that would come up in those investor calls. And I remember preparing for one of them. The executive team asked me to come. Hey, let us know who are these partners, and I
Hmm.
gave them a list. And back then, I don't know if many of the affiliate and the publishers thought this would be, they would have a corporation, and this would become a real job,
Right.
and so the names were all over the place and super funny and ironic and everything. And I just remember one executive saying, if an investor asks me
Uh-huh.
who the hell this is, I can't answer it with this name. Kick them out.
Right.
And that kind of demonstrates the, like, if those decisions can be so arbitrary and quick,
Yeah.
uh, that we do need to do a good job educating, and hopefully, we've done some of that
I
here.
also think our industry has grown a lot over the last 15 or 20 years, from those rebel, spit in your face, I'm not going to work for the man kind of job, to more professional corporations acting like grown-ups, being
Yeah.
professional, and those kinds of things. So, yeah.
Well, we talk about like categories. You guys helped greatly with the coupon data
Mm-hmm.
ebook and guide we put out. You guys gave some great data, and one of the things I was talking with Tara and some of the other networks was categorizing affiliates.
Mm-hmm.
When someone says coupon, well, we're actually talking about they're talking about a aggregated group of three different types of affiliates.
Hmm.
And so it do us better to talk about it differently as well. And then when you add in, and that's what drew me to the affiliate space, I think even more and more, is everything that you're doing in all the other channels. Somewhere, someone's doing it for on a performance basis,
Right.
and Matt's right. That's what it is. It's a compensation model,
Hmm.
um, and you can work anything in. We've done some crazy stuff over my 20 years working with people who would never consider themselves publishers, but we did it in an affiliate model, and it worked really, really well.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Um, Choots, one of the things that we've been talking about, and I know you have too, is sort of an answer to this question of, does the channel provide value and kind of help us get over this hump of, uh, it's the channel's the first thing cut. And it's just not looked upon in many organizations as the best channel or a vibrant channel or a vital channel. That we talked about profitability. We talk about profitability and incrementality. And I know you guys have provided a lot of different tool sets and features in your network to get to that, to help clients get drive the incrementality and then review it. Can you share a little bit about what those are, how they work, and then how did those come about? Was it merchant demand, advertiser demand, affiliate demand, or I think I said in my question, do you have like a secret team working on amazing features? I think Xerox had one. I forget what it was called, but it was
Right.
back in the day. They had an awesome, innovation team. So, what are those features that enable uh, driving profitable sales and seeing which ones aren't, and then how they come about?
Yeah. So, for us, it really so one of the things that's most important to us that, we learned from the 2008 through 2010 recession was creating a sustainable. I talked about earlier the solid foundation, but a solid foundation is created with sustainable relationships, and so philosophically, LinkConnector spends just as much time and effort and resources on the affiliate side as they do on the advertiser side. And it really isn't about serving this affiliate or serving this merchant or advertiser. It's about the relationship between one affiliate or publisher and one merchant and one advertiser. So we kind of think of things on a relationship by relationship basis. And we work hard to identify what can make that stronger, what can make that sustainable, and those kinds of things, knowing that we can build new relationships on top of existing ones and continue to grow a program for both the affiliate's sake and the merchant's sake over time. And so, most of our we you know we are an online marketing company and we are a technology company. Which one are we? We're both. And we take a lot of pride in the fact that we're both. We take a lot of pride in the fact that we do things. We're very nimble, we can pivot easily, with our software that we've spent a lot of time and effort building, but it's all to support our, the online marketing realm or these relationships. And so while we do have some technologies that we've created over the years to support or foster this sustainability, most of our technologies are driven from our customers' needs. And so we don't have a secret squad. We have a lot of internal conversations about something that's going on or some customer that came to us with a request or a need. We will adjust our software as necessary on a small scale to satisfy this one. But the first conversation we have is, well, if this advertiser has this problem, then then do all advertisers have this problem? And can we think about a way to solve this problem on a more global scale for all of our customers? So we have a lot of those internal conversations with our employees about these sort of things, and that's generally the how are we going to solve the problem for our customers? And so, you mentioned coupons earlier. Some of our technologies are related to the perception by a lot of advertisers that coupon and loyalty sites don't add value. Well, why do they? It's not, we don't spend a lot of time trying to convince them that they do add value. There's plenty out there that does that. We try to identify, well, why do they feel that way? What is it about them that they feel like is not adding value, and how can we solve that problem from them? Because there's a tremendous amount of value under the right set of circumstances that these coupon and loyalty sites can add for an advertiser, as long as we can eliminate the perception in a technological manner, the perception or the problems that these advertisers are having. So, the thing you and I hear often is the coupon sites, users only go to them when they're already in the shopping cart.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
kind of thing, right? They've already made the purchase decision. Well, have they already made the purchase decision? So you can go into those philosophical arguments, and I think there's a lot of value into having those arguments or discussions amongst affiliates and advertisers. But what's the real issue here? And that's where you get into, well, let's take a look at the data. How often is that true? And your article did a great job, I think, highlighting that, gathering the data from the various networks, highlighting that this perception is a misconception a lot of times. So, but that's the impetus to what we do with technologies. Our latest that you and I have talked extensively about, infinity codes,
Hmm.
that is a rare one in our network. We are trying to solve a problem, but it's not a problem that was being complained about. The problem we're trying to solve with infinity codes is remove the long pole that exists of an affiliate wanting to promote, say, via a social channel or you know. Through a newsletter to their customers, whatever. They want a code, they need it now, and they have to request it, usually through the network, and wait for the merchant to go into the shopping cart, create that coupon, get it back to them. And that takes a while, and it takes a lot of effort. You
Yeah.
kind of sometimes have to justify the merchant's effort up front. Hey, if you can give me this coupon code, I can do a lot with it.
Oh yeah, you got to
That's
do a ROI analysis for every
right.
coupon code. Yeah, that
Right.
doesn't take any extra time at all.
No, no, no. And so what we thought about was, what if we can remove that constraint? What if we can remove and kind of have that discussion up front with the merchant and say, we'd like you to create this base code that's whatever a normal, as an example, a 10% off run of the site code that a merchant is willing to do, and what are additional constraints that you have along this. And now let's put those in our system and turn over the coupon creation process to the affiliate and let them do it. And so now with the merchants, by the way, we thought the affiliates would love this, and they do. The merchants really love it. And
Right.
so, but now you've empowered affiliates to create a code anytime they want based on that base code, and constrained by the merchant's constraints, whatever they might be. Merchant might not want a code out there that lasts more than 7 days, as an example. So the base code lasts forever, or however long they want it to last. But the constraint says, hey, affiliate, as long as you go into LinkConnector and create a code, and so that doesn't last more than 7 days, then we're fine with that, and don't bother me, kind of thing. So that's been very successful. We're you know that's a rare technology where internally over time we've tried to get out in front and create a new way of thinking, or a new, not that we're not always trying to create a new way of thinking is just a technology that supports that. Um, that's less common in LinkConnector than um, an advertiser or an affiliate saying, "Boy, I really wish I could do this. I could do my job so much better if you had this." And we not only listen to all those conversations, we actively seek them out constantly with our customers. How can we help you do this better? How can we save you time so you can focus your time on building more relationships, not on managing your program?
And I love how that bit of technology goes back to your organization's philosophy of, affiliate marketing as a model of payment and enabling all sorts of relationships to happen. And how do
Mm-hmm.
you do that? Is you reduce the friction as best you can. And I love technologies that remove friction from the marketplace. I think I've managed, and my company's managed, several hundred programs over the 15 and now close to 16 years that
Wow.
we've been in existence. And that has been a constant through that entire timeline, frustration of we're working with this affiliate. We'd like to do this thing for them. We need to get them a code, and this is how we do it. Instead of one conversation of
Right.
what's our code, our coupon and promotion strategy, what are the constrictions and
Right.
restrictions and goals, and then allowing, we've done things where we've had access to the coupon table in their system, and
Sure.
that reduced friction, right? But
Right.
and we still had to do that ourselves, and the technology that just removes all of that is superb. So I'm not surprised at all that that's working really well for you guys.
Well, and that's only a small improvement. Where we see the big improvement is where, affiliates, and there are lots of affiliates out there that have massive amount of data on their user base, right? And so what we're working towards is a programmatic creation of affiliate codes where you're potentially creating thousands or even hundreds of thousands of codes in a month to really start adding value by increasing conversion rate and AOV and those kinds of things. Because, we all know, we all learn in business school about A/B testing, but hardly anybody is doing A/B testing with what works with the users, what motivates, what creates the demand, all of those kinds of things in the coupon route. And when you start talking about a relationship where you're working in that manner, where the loyalty of the coupon side is actually adding value by increasing AOV and conversion rate and those kinds of things with the data that they have in the user base, now you've reversed course on whether these types of promotional affiliates can add value. As an advertiser, you're actually looking to leverage everything they know about their user base to drive more customers your way and those kinds of things. So that's kind of what it's designed to do. That's where we're heading, and that's where we're hoping to get sooner than later with the larger affiliates that can do that.
That's fantastic. I love to hear that. The customization, and we've always preached. You have to look at almost like each partnership is its own channel, and
Yeah.
each will have its own goal. You optimize specifically for that, measure and pivot. And the testing is huge. We have a 6-step client success map, and in step 4 and 5, it's all about reviewing data, defining profitability, and making adjustments at a channel level, a category level, and an affiliate level.
Hmm.
And that includes testing creative messaging,
Right.
coupons,
Absolutely.
product, partners, all of that.
Yeah.
And I think some CMOs, they don't get to see that scientific method of testing what's working and what's not, and what is truly driving you towards your goals, what's hitting your goals and what's not. Well, Choots, I have enjoyed this greatly, and I know you and I could probably talk for 3 hours, but I'm not Joe Rogan, and I don't think people are going to listen to me for that long.
Right. Yeah, nor
Uh,
me.
so, where can our listeners reach you and follow you?
On Twitter, LinkConnector channel, I have my own, but I think they'd much more enjoy following LinkConnector. Um, and if they want to reach me personally, the best way to do that is email choots dot Humphries at LinkConnector.com. So
Great. And
um,
if what's the best way?
I would love to say, find me at the bar at one of the upcoming shows. I'm usually there, but after the sessions and stuff. But unfortunately, we don't get to travel these days. So
Yeah, and who knows when that will happen, right?
I know it's so scary.
Uh, well, if they want to talk to Link Connector about launching a program or joining as an affiliate, what's the best way? Just to go to linkconnector.com?
Yeah, they can either go to LinkConnector.com, they can send an email to sales at LinkConnector.com, or contact me directly. Yeah.
Outstanding.
But yeah, we have a wonderful sales team. You mentioned Tara earlier. She's our VP of Sales and Marketing. She's one of the smartest people in the industry by far,
Totally agree.
um, and um, and loves having conversations with prospective and current merchants and advertisers about their program goals, what they want to accomplish, and how Link Connector might be able to assist them with that. Yeah.
Awesome. And to our listeners, there are a lot of technology features that Link Connector has that we have not even touched on.
Mm.
So if you are looking for that, I definitely, check them out. If you're talking about profitability, if you're talking about publisher diversity, and then enabling your publishers to do great things in any way that they're pushing the envelope in to reach their audience and convert sales. Link Connector is definitely one network that we love, and the technology is cutting edge and offers some unique things you can't find anywhere. So definitely check that out.
Yeah.
Chu,
What
go ahead.
problems? What frustrations do you have right now? What do you wish was different? Come to us with that conversation, and maybe we already do it different for somebody. So that would be great.
Awesome. Well, Choots, thank you so much. It is
Thanks,
always a
Jamie.
pleasure to chat with you. And we will, again, if you want to contact Choots or Link Connector, we will put those in the show notes. But thank you so much. I hope you have a great day. And for our listeners, please share this episode if you find it valuable. Thank you, Choots.
Thanks, Jamie, and stay safe.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that discussion about all things affiliate marketing. And remember, if you're looking for strategies to survive and thrive right now and during any turbulent times, we want to direct you to JEBCommerce.com/strategies. There you'll be able to download a 19-step guide on strategies and tactics to help you get through what's going on right now, as well as thriving. And you can. So download that guide. We actually threw in a bonus tip. That is from Link Connector as bonus number 20. So please check out that guide at JEBCommerce.com/strategies. And remember, if you need any help with your affiliate program, contact us at gethelp@JEBCommerce.com, and we would love to sit down with you and help you run a profitable affiliate program.